I want to make a quick overview on the Brute here real quick of what I'm doing to it. The Brute was good for a long time when it was stock drivetrain and stuff. And I pulley swapped the FNR that was in it, and it started shredding belts, eating belts. Never worked again. Dropped the FNR and I put this hydro in it. It worked for a while, but it was slow and it didn't have much power. That's a really weak hydro. And I quit the Silver Bullet project, so I pulled the 206 from it and just put an MST in here. Kind of see it. There it is. Now, originally, when I first slapped this thing together earlier, I had a 4-to-a-4. I had this 4-inch pulley on the engine and this 4-inch cast iron pulley on the transmission, and it did like 12 miles an hour with the regular governor. If I pulled my string, it would do like 18. It was a bit too slow for me because it has more potential than that, considering first gear was like barely even moving at all still. So there was no point in leaving it like that, so I swapped it back around. I had an old cast iron 4 3/4 inch, so 3/4 of an inch bigger than that, and I was able to just barely make it fit on the front. There's no clearance because of the steering gear, so I had to cut like that much off the back of the steering gear and then use a Dremel on the frame to make it just barely clear. But it fits. It fits. So now I have a 4 3/4 instead of a 4 on the engine. And to make up for a bigger engine pulley, I went smaller on the back, which is why there's a 3-inch. Now, a 3-inch seems small because a 3-inch does like to slip in the water and stuff, which is an issue. But the thing is, I don't really drive the Brute in the water much, so I'm not worried about that little 3-inch slipping too much in there. And I have to hook up this shifter in here too. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm using the old deck lever stuff, bolting the bracket to the top of it so it goes down to the bottom to run it. I just need to get that bolted in there because I had an old Craftsman clutch in there because it was, it has this angle like that on it, but I cut that slot out to go over the shaft and it just twisted. So that didn't work out. I need to redo that. Other than that, though, it's good. There's that. The clutch is still that, by the way. It just moves the pulley. And there's the engine pulley. Good to go.